Okay, so welcome to everybody. This is our 2015 webinar. We're going to talk about things that I think hopefully will be helpful and wonderful and fantastic. And we're not just going to talk about setups. It seems like every webinar I do is just what this candlestick is doing and what that chart's doing. And I love that. But I want to take this opportunity to talk to you guys about a couple of things I had a chance to sit and think about and stew on over the Christmas break. Is it just me, or does it feel like to you guys that the new year has like come and gone and that was like 6 months ago? Does it kind of feel like that? Does it feel like Christmas and New Year's and all that was just forever ago, and yet it was New Year's was just a week ago? Hard to believe. And Christmas 2 weeks ago, and it just feels like it's been so long ago. Front of the freight train. I love it. Yeah, it's kind of all flown by a little bit, so maybe that's just me. It's been a really super busy week. Every time I take a couple of weeks off, or a couple of days off even, it's just catch up like crazy when I get back, and it always seems like it flies by. So anyways, I'm happy to spend this time with you guys this evening to talk about a couple of things that I have started to implement for this fine new year, and I think these are things that will greatly improve your guys' success, well-being, happiness, and so on. Keep in mind, there's a very good chance that everything I mentioned today, some of you guys are already doing, and that is great. And some of you may be hearing things for the first time, or may just be bringing some things back to memory. Whatever the case may be, I hope it's beneficial for everybody, and I'm very glad that you are here with us. I see a lot of names and some faces even that I recognize, so welcome to the regulars. And there's a bunch of names that I don't recognize, so welcome to everybody that's visiting us or attending this for the first time or anything like that. So very, very welcome to you. Great to see you all. Let's get started. So we're going to talk a little bit about trading and goals 2015. Another year has literally flown by. I don't know where the time has gone, and here we are. And this year is going to fly by, and the question is, what do we want to have different by the end of this year that maybe we didn't have different by the end of last year that we had planned on doing, accomplishing, achieving, so on. So let's talk a little bit about that. Money is always a good one. That's always a good one. First of all, for anybody that doesn't super well know me or who I am or is visiting for the first time, welcome. Great to see you guys. Here is a picture of me and my little Stella and Hendrix and my beautiful wife. This was a little Disneyland trip a couple weeks ago, where we decided to finally get the young one out of the house and take a little fun trip. So I have the best little family, given I don't know your guys' little families. I bet you guys have pretty fantastic ones as well. And I love my little family. I love my two little kids and my wife. And there's pretty much nothing else, honestly, that I would rather do than spend time with them and trade and make money. So those are kind of the priorities. Just a little recap on myself. I'm 35 years young, because old is starting to it's actually getting offensive to me to even say my own age, because it has snuck up on me pretty seriously. I've been trading Forex for about 13 years. I started when I was, 21, 22, right around there, and it's just flown by like crazy. In the process, there's been some pretty excellent adventures due to trading, living in Europe and Thailand and South America and various parts of the U.S. Been a good adventure. Trading has afforded me a pretty excellent lifestyle that I'm pretty happy about. Currently, I have 2 kids and 1 dog, or you could just say 3 kids. And they're all pretty excellent. I really enjoy that part of everything. Full-time trader, and I live in Southern California. So there's just a little background about myself for anybody that doesn't know. I just thought I'd share a little bit with you guys. So there I am. There's my family. Here is where stuff gets serious. My trading partner. This right here. Do we have a little bit of a delay on the screen? I just switched it, and it looks like it just barely changed right now. Is the audio coming through good for everybody? Are we good on audio? Seems like the internet might be a little bit slow this evening, but okay, sounds like it's coming through well for everyone. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of a delay here. It's it's the evening. Everybody's on the internet now, so yeah, it's a 7-second rule. Yeah, this is in case I slip out a swear word. We'll have time to kind of edit everything. So this is Mr. Tank. He is currently not in my office with me. I don't know where he is. He's probably off harassing some other dogs. He's my trading partner. He's my voice of conscience and reason, and keeps me from trading the yen pairs too much. And when I do, he always just barks trend. Stay with the trend. So there's Tank. There's good old Tankster. He's a good little pooch, and he's been with us for a long time. So hopefully he's got some long time to come. All right, let's get down to the details. Let's talk about some excellent stuff. First of all, I want to make sure that you guys know how to get in touch with me, that you can stop by and say hi. You can visit me at Twitter, twitter.com/daytradersfx. You can also find me at daytradersfx.com, or you can send me an email if you're into that kind of thing at jared@daytradersfx.com. So those are great ways to get a hold of me, and those are really, really good methods to do some communication. I love to communicate with all of you guys, with people in my group, with people that are on Twitter, with people that are just anywhere. I love to interact and talk about our ideas and things that we're doing and exploring and experimenting with and so on. It's a great way to really keep us all well-rounded and open to what's going on. My wife and I joke around a little bit. By the way, if anyone has any questions, Carlos, I see your question there. Any questions you guys want to ask, just type them in there and I'll get to them. We'll get to them briefly. My wife and I have kind of joked around a little bit, and we've said 2015 is going to be the year of excellence. And you know how everybody gets really like, oh, it's a new year, it's time for goals, it's time for everything, and it's time for this, that, and the other. And there is definitely that kind of awakening experience where you think, it's a new year, I want to do some things different this year than I did last year. I can't believe last year is over. I can't believe I didn't get all the things done I wanted to last year. I'm going to try to get them done this year, so on and so on and so on. And what I really want to focus on for myself, and what I would encourage you guys to do, is instead of having a bunch of goals are excellent and we need to have them, and they're absolutely important without a doubt. We've got to have goals. But instead of just having a bunch of goals, a bunch of things written down, let's do certain things that will change our behavior so that the goals that we're trying to accomplish will almost naturally happen. That's really what we're trying to accomplish here. We don't want to just write down a goal to say, I need to make $1 million this year. And maybe, and that's great to do. I'm not saying don't do it. But let's do those things that will put us in good position so that we can make that $1 million this year, so that we can accomplish whatever it is we're trying to accomplish this year. It's pretty frustrating to just write a bunch of things down and then just have them not happen because we get busy and we forget and we get overwhelmed and we get caught up in everything else and we forget to look at our piece of paper that we wrote our goal down on and so on. We've all been there. We all know how it goes. So I would like to propose to you guys, and this goes for trading, and this goes for life in general. This isn't just a trading webinar. This is a how can we have a little bit better, a little bit more productive of a new year. How can we better ourselves as humans, as citizens of planet Earth, and as traders? What are some things that we can do? And these are things that I've thought about. These are things that I've been implementing a little bit lately and have really implementing a lot, but fairly recently. And I've noticed just huge differences in the way I think and the way I look at things. And it's really just kind of it's caused a shift, a massive shift already. So goals are great. Let's do things that will affect our behavior and make these goals much more attainable. Again, 2015 is going to come and go. I can never believe how fast these years fly by. I remember being 20 years old and it feels like it was yesterday, and it wasn't that long ago, 15 years ago, but I remember just being that carefree, whatever, and it flies by. I have a couple of kids. I I have a dog, that's the big deal, and a lot of responsibility and a lot of things, and it's all just kind of flown by, and man, those 15 years have gone by in a blink, and so it's time that we start doing those things that will really help us take advantage of that time. So let's talk about what some of those details are. Here are 2 must-read books. Now, the more that I read, the more that I find out how much successful people read. And it seems like kind of an archaic thing almost, that this reading business, who reads? We can get all the information through a podcast, or we can just look at a quick headline. We don't need to read anything. And the more I figure it out, it is... it's so important that we feed our brains and that we read. And I have been a horrible offender in this arena for a long time. And I have just recently, probably last year, really started just digging in and reading and reading and reading. And it has made all the difference in the world. I just recently read, actually, that Warren Buffett, good old Warren, WB, he reads 500 pages of material every single day. 500 pages. Now, he's the first or second or third richest man in the world. I can't keep track. It changes every year, but he's always in the top 3. And he reads that much. He's like 150 years old, and he's still pumping out 500 pages of reading every day. Now, I don't get anywhere near that, but I try to read something every day. And Mel, to kind of address your question, fiction or self-help, we should be reading things that will benefit us. I'm specifically referring to things that will benefit us. It doesn't necessarily need to be self-help. Let's read things to learn whatever area and whatever arena we're in. If you're a Forex trader, read as much as you can about markets and economics and trading psychology and technical analysis and fundamental analysis and different ideas on trading. Read everything you can get your hands on. Just digest the information. I'm reading, I've finished reading a book, one of these books here, Mastery by Robert Greene, which is, to say that it's a must-read is probably an understatement to the fullest degree. Mastery is an absolute have-to-read. If you don't, you're hugely missing out, and it's just to your detriment. Mastery is so great, and it's a must-read book. And as I go through Mastery, or as I read through Mastery, and there's so many stories about some of these older, people 100 years ago and 200 years ago that made huge differences. Thomas Edison, for example, Benjamin Franklin, some of these big figures, and how they did anything. They would take any job they could get. They would do anything to get a job in these printing presses or with rich people so that they could just have access to their libraries so that they could read what these guys had. And to us, it's so readily available and so easily accessible. Let's take advantage of it. Let's read and read and read. The 2 books that I would say you all must read this year, very minimum, and everybody should read at least a book a month this coming year. 1 book per month. 1 book a month. I just read, by the way, that Mark Zuckerberg of the good old Facebook, it turns out that he has a goal of reading 2 books a month this year. 2 books a month. He wants to read 24 books for the year of 2015. And I think that is a fantastic goal. And I think we should all read at least 1 book a month this entire year. And these 2 are must-reads. Mastery and The Spirit of Kaizen. You guys have heard me talk about this a little bit. The Spirit of Kaizen, there's actually a longer title to it. But if you look up The Spirit of Kaizen on Amazon or anywhere online, you'll find it. It is a great book, and Mastery is about mastering, about like you're saying, Carlos, getting those 10,000 hours to become an expert in whatever field we're in. It's about mastering what we're doing, being the best at whatever we're doing. There really is no purpose in doing something and not doing it to the best of our ability. Why would we do that? Why should we do that? We shouldn't. We have all the resources. We have the availability at our hands. Let's do it. Let's be the best that we can at whatever we're doing. Most of you happen to be Forex traders. I am a Forex trader. I'm a market trader. You guys might trade stocks and Forex and options and any other thing like that. Be the best that you can be at that. Take advantage of the information that's out there. Read, study, learn. The spirit of Kaizen is about how small steps can make a huge difference in the long run. How by doing very tiny things, they kind of beget larger and bigger and more grand things. And so it's a really, really interesting, great book that can kind of take the overwhelmingness out of goal setting and out of trying to accomplish all these great things. You know that if any of us, for example, would have written 1 page a day last year, who can't write 1 page? One page a day, we could have had a 365-page book written last year with very little effort, with probably 20 minutes a day of effort, if we would have written 1 page. If we would have read spent 20 minutes reading every day last year, 365 days, about trading, we could have covered a massive amount of books and information, and we could have advanced our knowledge in what we're doing by tenfold by spending just a couple of minutes studying that every day. So that's kind of what the spirit of Kaizen goes through, is just taking those small steps every day, small easy things that literally can sometimes take us 1 minute. This year I decided I sit in front of my computer too much, I don't exercise enough, besides surfing and jogging, and I need to get into a little bit of better shape. And I thought I should just do some push-ups. Why don't I just do some push-ups every day? And I've thought that for literally months. I'll just do some push-ups, and then I don't. And so a week or two ago, I said I should really do some push-ups. And so I just in the kitchen just got on the floor and did like 50 push-ups. Done. You can do 2, 1, anything that kind of gets you started, gets you headed towards that new thing, that accomplishment, that improvement that hopefully we can all get to this year. So read, and just improve your mind this year. This is one of the absolutely most important things that we can do for this new year. Are you too busy to read? Do you have a lot of not a lot of downtime? Do you have a long commute, perhaps, where you work? Do you take a train? Do you take a bus? Do you drive a long ways? Get Audible. I love this. I read probably half the material that I go through, and the other half I get it on Audible. Audible is a fantastic website. You download an app on your smartphone. Pretty much everybody has a smartphone now. It's $15 a month, and pretty much every book you can imagine is on there, and it's read. They're audiobooks. And so, for example, those 2 books I just mentioned are both on Audible, and you can, for $14.99 a month, that includes 1 book every month, and you can just listen to it. You can listen to it while you drive. You can listen to it while you jog. You can listen to it while you do anything, clean the house, walk the dog, anything. You can really cover a lot of great material. So I love Audible. It's a great way, especially for those that find that it's a little difficult to really hunker down and get the reading material time that you would like. This is a great way to do that. So read, use Audible. It's a great resource. And just take advantage of all those resources that are out there. They're so great. Kindles are great. All of that stuff is just so great. Just go through it. You'll be a much better person. You know, it's funny. I distinctly remember being in college. And for example, you know, when I'm sick, or if it's a Saturday and it's raining outside or whatever, and of course this doesn't really happen anymore, because I have kids, so I don't really get to just sit down and do nothing. But I remember before I had kids, and if it were just bad weather or something and I couldn't go outside, and I just ended up sitting and watching TV for a couple hours, you know, or I'd go to a movie or something like that, and you sit and you watch TV or watch movies. And I would always kind of just feel like a zombie after a couple hours of that, you know, like I've just been fed and it's not, you know, I have no pulse, I have no like brain activity, I'm just kind of, you know, blank. But I've always found, I remember being in college and I would have to cram, you know, a big research paper, and I'd have to read through 50 books in a day and just scan through them all and read through as much as I could. And my mind always felt invigorated from doing that. You know, if I spent that much time watching TV or doing some brainless activity, I would just be a zombie. But when I spend that time studying and learning, I just felt alive in my mind. And so reading is such a great thing. So that is a huge encouragement. Please do yourselves a favor and read more this year. And along with reading, let's learn stuff. Good grief, let's learn. Please make use of all these free resources. Namely, I mean, there's just nowhere else you need to go on the internet than Google and YouTube. You want to learn more about trading, you want to learn more about technical analysis, you want to learn more about being profitable, you want to learn more about any of that stuff, type it into Google. You want to learn about Elliott Wave, maybe. You want to learn more about Fibonacci. Search those things on Google, search them on YouTube. There are answers for absolutely anything you could ever imagine. Use those resources. I have decided that I'm going to spend a little bit more time studying economics and studying more correlations that the market has with certain other instruments and commodities and everything, and it's all on Google. It's just, there's just so much great information. Let's make use of it. It's free, it's easy, it's available. Use it. YouTube is an excellent resource as well. Anything you can imagine, any question you can imagine, you can type it in on YouTube. I mean, literally anything. There are billions and billions of videos on there, and there are some really fantastic ones. I think some people might sometimes think that YouTube is full of funny videos and whatever stuff, and there is a lot of that on there, but YouTube has some excellent information. YouTube actually has Bill Gates, I'm sure many of you know about this. Bill Gates invested in an online university that just gives courses on YouTube, free courses. You can get the equivalent of a master's degree through this online course on YouTube, this online university. And Bill Gates and his charitable foundation have donated billions of dollars to this. Millions of dollars to this online university and the courses they offer, and it's all free and it's all there. So there's some really great information there, so just make use of these. It's, Khan University. I was trying to think of the name of it, but yeah, it's Khan University. That's right. Thanks, Mel. Unless you found me on YouTube. I've got just about 1 million videos up there, so yeah, I definitely have some stuff there. And yes, this webinar will go onto YouTube as well, so you'll be able to find this on YouTube. So just make use of resources. Try to learn something every day. Make a goal to be better, to know more and to be more proficient at something. At trading, at whatever you're doing, and look those things up and learn more about your field and your area of interest on Google and YouTube. They're so great. It's just so great. There's so much good stuff on there. Number 2, write more and more and more and more. Writing is kind of difficult for me sometimes. It's a little tricky. It's tough to just sit down and write. Reading and writing are just kind of going away a little bit, it seems like, because there's so many other ways and mediums to communicate, and writing is so very important. This year I have started, I've kind of done this on and off over the years, and I have just decided that I can't not do this anymore. I am keeping a daily journal or diary, whatever you want to call it, every day. Every day I write in it. Every day I write in this journal, and it brings such clarity to my mind. And clarity is what we need to achieve these goals and to be in a better mindset and be able to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. We have to have clarity, and to get that clarity, we need to write down our thoughts and our ideas so that we can really know what we're trying to do. When I write in my journal every day, one thing that I try to do is I try to determine, was today a day that I made progress? Was it a progress day? Or was this kind of a maintain status quo day? And sometimes those really busy days are just the maintain status quo. I'm just dealing with emails, I'm dealing with work, I'm dealing with trading, I'm dealing with whatever, and I haven't really advanced anything. I've just kind of kept things going. And it really helps me kind of prioritize my life and my time and my days. Because if I start noticing I have too many of these status quo days, then that gets a little bit scary. I'm not making any progress. I'm just kind of, putting out fires constantly and just keeping things, status quo. And so that is something that we want to make sure that we are, that we kind of have that accountability to ourselves. And a journal will absolutely do that. In trading, a trading journal is the most necessary and beneficial thing that any of us can do. Make a trading journal. Keep track of your trades. It's so easy to make a screenshot, save a document, write a couple of words about why you took the trade, how things went, what you can learn and do better the next time. Keep a trading journal, and absolutely keep a personal journal. Write down your thoughts, write down your feelings, get that clarity, write down lists and goals and things that you need to accomplish tomorrow and the next day and this week and this month. Write, write, and write. Reading and writing are just, I just can't help but feel like the importance of that has kind of been diminished a little bit in society. You know, there's this focus on technical skills, using computers and all of that stuff, and of course that is super important. But if we lose the ability to keep that focus on reading and writing, we will suffer as a society without a doubt. And I've noticed so much benefit from doing these two things so much more, reading more and writing more. And it just so happens that some of the richest people and most successful people in the world are huge readers and huge writers. So you guys make the connection there. If we want to achieve great things, I think that those two elements are absolutely necessary: reading and writing. An easy way to keep a journal, the way that I happen to do it, is I use Evernote. Anyone used Evernote? I'm sure many of you have used Evernote. They're a company. They're a little startup that is excellent. They haven't gone public yet. I'm sure they will sooner than later. Evernote's a great way to keep a journal. You can just type it in on your computer. You can do it on your phone. It's all synced across all of your devices, your tablets, phones, computers, everywhere. Great, Ray. Great, excellent. Yeah, and Evernote is such a great way to keep a journal. And I do it. And a couple of reasons why I do is because, number one, my handwriting is, I can't read my own handwriting. It's horrible. My handwriting is awful, and that's probably something that I need to work on this year, is making my handwriting a little more legible. But it's horrible. My 2-year-old writes more clearly than I do, so it's great to type it out. And again, I can write it from anywhere. If I find myself laying in bed and I'm too exhausted to get up and do anything, I can just grab my phone and write a few things in my journal from there, and it's all just centralized and kept in a great place. And likewise, if I'm trying to, if I want to keep a trading journal, if I want to do anything, I can upload, pictures and documents and all those things to Evernote really easily, and it's all just in one place. So Evernote for me has been a great way to keep a journal. So reading and writing, oh man, so important. Number 3, get a mentor. This is kind of a funny thing because I've been reading a couple of books lately about mentors. Mastery talks about it a lot. There's this book right here called Crazy is a Compliment by Linda Rottenberg, which that's just a great last name, Rottenberg. If you have Rotten in your last name, it's awesome. It's just fantastic. So Linda Rottenberg writes a book about mentors and about the importance of mentors and the things that they can really offer us. A mentor doesn't need to be somebody that we're 18 years old and we know nothing and we show up to their place and we slave away for 7 years trying to figure out the tricks of the trades until we're proficient enough to go on our own. Mentors can be anybody. They can be anybody that we either have a relationship with or we don't have a relationship with. I consider some of the major hedge fund managers of this world some of my mentors. I don't know them personally. I've never talked to them, but I read everything they do. I follow everything that they do. And it's funny how these big hedge fund guys write so much. They write so much and they publish so much of what they do. They run multi-billion-dollar hedge funds, yet they have all this time to write and write and write. And I follow everything that they write, everything that they say, and I try to keep an eye on that. And I consider them some of my mentors, as well as I have mentors that are people that I do have relationships with. And again, it doesn't need to be an intense relationship where you see somebody every single day, you talk to them every single day. Mentors can be people that just give us a little bit of extra guidance. Maybe we talk to them, maybe we email back and forth once a week, something like that. Mentors are great ways to just get a little bit of extra direction and guidance in what we're doing. So One or multiple mentors are great ideas, and I strongly recommend you guys do this. Again, I follow trading, what I consider trading geniuses, and I read everything they do, and I follow everything they do, and I get on good old Google and YouTube and find out more information about them, how they, where they went to school, what they did, habits they've developed that maybe I can incorporate into my life that might benefit me as well. So it's a great way to make sure that we're on the right track and that we're really kind of following a good path. So find a mentor. That will be excellent. Obviously, we have a trading group. You guys know that. I have a trading group, daytradersfx.com, a live trading group. And it's a great way to have a sort of mentor relationship with me and with other traders there, with other people that are having success in trading. And it's just an excellent way to have some accountability and to have a bit of a mentorship with other traders and with myself and so on. Here is an important one that we've all heard about, we've all talked about, we've all thought about, and it probably gets forgotten quite often as well. Shifting your circle of influence. This is an interesting one, and it's a really important one. If you surround yourself with 5 successful people, you'll be the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 underachievers, you'll also be the 6th. So success and wealth and all those good things that happiness, love, all those things that we seek, we need to surround ourselves by that. Success breeds success. If we find that we have that our daily interactions are with people that we don't necessarily find uplifting in our lives, it doesn't mean we need to drop our friends and stop seeing our neighbors and all of that stuff. But it means in your circle of influence, the people that you see daily or weekly or monthly, try to surround yourself with successful people that have achieved some level of success that you would like to model your life after. And Carlos, how is this done in a virtual trading world? Remember, this is not just with other traders. I'm not saying you should hang around successful traders only, although that's absolutely excellent. But the people that you spend your time with, and I'm sure all of us, even though we live in kind of a virtual trading environment, we don't see a lot of people face to face that we work with. We still see people, we still have friends, we still have acquaintances, we still have people that we do things with, and let's try to surround ourselves with people that are successful, that have those traits that we want to model ourselves after. That is such a big, important deal. It's funny when I'm around, because we all have lots of friends and family, I'm sure, that are not as successful as us, and then we have friends and family that are more successful than us. And when I find myself around those people that are less successful than me, I almost try to dumb myself down a little bit. I don't want to be the guy that makes a bunch of money and doesn't have to show up to an office. And when I'm around people that hate their jobs and work long hours and are barely making ends meet, and so it almost kind of, I feel like it's a weird kind of sensation of I don't want to be the one that is putting it in anybody's face. And on the flip side, when I'm around successful people, and I have friends and family that are hugely successful, that have achieved great lengths of success and wealth and so on, and when I'm around them, I just, without even saying anything, anybody saying anything, I feel inspired and I feel rejuvenated, and I feel like that is something that I can achieve. It's immediate and it's totally real. So let's just spend our time with people that can lift us, and let's lift those that we are with as well. So always a good thing to remember. Many of you have heard me talk about this before, and it's a concept that I love and that I've been doing for a long time. Make a you movie. We've talked about YouTube. Well, we're going to use YouTube to make a you movie. And this you movie is the way that I choose to lay out my goals and write down my goals and do those things. what I do is I find pictures of myself. I find pictures on the internet. I find all kinds of pictures of things that I want to accomplish. I have pictures of my family and the happiness that we've had. I have pictures of the dream house I want to move into, the vacations I want to take, the yacht I want to buy, all of that stuff. And I put them together in a slideshow on YouTube. You can easily upload a bunch of pictures to a slideshow on YouTube, and put it to a little bit of music. And I make a little 1 to 2 minute long, kind of like a mind movie or a goal movie. I call it the You movie because it's all the things that you want to accomplish. It's a great way to keep your goals in front of you in a really real way, in a way that you can kind of just watch for 1 or 2 minutes a couple of times every day with a song that you like, some music that you like to it. Watch this little slideshow on YouTube right from your phone. Again, I'm assuming that people have smartphones, any kind of iPhone or Android or anything like that. You can watch these little slideshows that are 1 to 2 minutes long a couple of times a day. You can watch them while you're taking a lunch break. They're 1 to 2 minutes is all. And it's just a great way to keep your goals in a really visual, really kind of good flowing format so that you can keep in front of you what you're trying to accomplish and keep it in your mind. If you'd like more information about that, I've done a couple of, I did a webinar on visual goal setting about a year ago, and if you go to bit.ly/visual goal setting, you can watch my webinar there. It's about an hour long. If you already kind of know a little bit about this, you can just go to goal info, this little bit.ly /goal info, and that's just a 5-minute video that shows you how to upload your pictures to YouTube and turn them into a little 1 to 2 minute goal movie. And so do that. Definitely do that. For those that just prefer to write their goals out and see them written down on paper, and maybe you carry it around in your wallet or something, that's super great as well. That's totally fine. But for anybody that's interested in kind of a little bit of an alternative way of doing it, this is an excellent way to keep those goals in front of you. And I love, for me, I love to look at pictures. It feels a little more powerful to me to look at my ideal house than to read, I own my ideal house, I'm buying my ideal house, I want to buy this, this house, whatever. If I see the picture of it, it feels so much more powerful to me, and that's why I like to do these little, 1 to 2 minute slideshows that I can watch a couple times a day. They're super, super great. So, when I send out the webinar, when I post everything, these 2 links will be posted as well. So you'll be able to go on these, click on these, and get a little more info on how to make those videos and how to do all that. It's pretty easy. It doesn't take any tech savviness at all. You look up a couple of pictures on your computer. Most of us have a million pictures on our computer, and we put them together, and we're done. And it's easy. It doesn't take very long to do it at all. So, huge recommendation there. Okay, and then here is kind of one of the biggest parts of everything here. Be accountable to someone. All these things that we're talking about. Remember, we're talking about reading more, writing more, getting a mentor, making these goal movies, doing all of that stuff. It's kind of hard to keep up with that stuff if we just do it and then we don't have anybody to talk about it with. And so it's really, really great to do this with a spouse, or do it with a friend or a neighbor or a coworker, or if you're in my trading group, to do it with us, because we're going to be tracking this stuff, and we're going to be talking a lot about this in the trading group throughout this year. And I will be holding you guys accountable, as well as you guys will be holding me accountable, and it'll be a great way for us to kind of be a good support group to each other. So again, it's super important to do that, and make sure that you're not just trying to venture out and do this thing completely on your own. It's great to have some accountability to make sure that you get it done. So get friends and family involved in these important factors that will just improve our lives so much. In summary, in kind of just to wrap all this up, let's all read more this week. Let's make it an absolute goal to read more this week. Again, if you're busy, get Audible, listen to books, read books. Just get the information into your head. It will be so useful. It's an investment in you. Write more. Your goals, ideas, progress, all of that has to be written down. It just has to be written down. It gives us that clarity. It helps us to identify what we are trying to accomplish. It helps us to clarify our thoughts in our own mind. Number 3, find a mentor. Find somebody that you can get a little extra guidance from, that you can kind of follow when things get a little bit crazy and when you're not totally sure where you're headed. It doesn't matter what age you are, what situation you're in. You're never too old, you're never too young, you're never too busy to get a little extra guidance from somebody if you seek it out. And it's just so beneficial and so useful. Number 4, make sure that you, for lack of a better term, hang with the winners. Don't surround yourself with people that don't lift you up and that don't inspire you. And likewise, when you're around people, be the lifter and be the person that gives them inspiration. But make sure that if you're with successful people, you will in turn be successful. And if you're not around successful people, the odds are for sure against you. So make sure that is a priority this year. Make a you movie. It's a fun way to set goals and to keep them in front of you and to have them readily accessible wherever you are, wherever you go. These little 1 to 2 minute videos are so easy to watch, and it has inspired me many times when I've been overrun, overwhelmed, overworked, whatever the case was, and I watch these and I'm able to really just kind of get a good feel for the fact that maybe I'm on the right path and that my goals are clearly in front of me. So those will be 5 things that I hope will really influence and improve your behavior, and just overall help you to have a more profitable, a more fulfilled, and a more exciting, happy, wonderful new year. 2015 should be nothing short of excellence. We should all aim for excellence this year, and by doing these 5 things, there's no way, it's impossible that you will not have a way happier, way better year than you did last year. If you do these things versus not doing these things, the difference is absolute night and day. And these are all easy things that we can all do. Read a book a month, write in your journal daily, find somebody that you can model some things after. Try to associate with people that you want to be like more. And put your goals down on a little slideshow and just keep them in front of you day after day. Thank you for attending, everybody, today. It's been a pleasure. For most of you that are traders, I'm sure all of you are traders. If you're on my email list, you're probably a trader. And as you know, we have a live trading group. And as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about these 5 things a lot this year. We're going to absolutely be talking about these things this year. And if you would like to be around more people that are like-minded with similar goals, then join us in our live trading group. You can get more information at daytradersfx.com/join. You can get a free trial. You can get some details about that. And I'd love to have you with us. And I'd love to see you guys with us. This is a group effort, and we're all here to succeed together and to have better, happier, more wonderful lives together. And as always, I thank you guys for your time. I thank you guys for attending. It's great to see everybody. Lots of names and faces I recognize. Thanks for showing up, guys. And I hope you guys all have a very wonderful, excellent, fantastic new year. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to get this recording posted, and I would love to take anybody's questions. I know there were some questions, so feel free to type them in right now. I'm all ears. Otherwise, thanks again for attending, everybody. Really, really great to see you all. Thanks for taking some time on a Thursday evening to pop in and listen to me rant about having a wonderful year. Thanks, guys. Take care, everyone.